And welcome to Hannity. And tonight, coming up, a bombshell new report on Joe Biden's deep involvement in his son's illicit business deals with communist China. Plus, we're going to bring you shocking, newly released video from the criminal investigation into Alec Baldwin on the set with the on-set shooting that left that one woman dead. And the great one, Mark Levin, is here tonight. He's going to explain why he's back on Twitter and how the big tech world is experiencing an earthquake and how America's left is absolutely melting down for freedom of speech. Amazing. But first, tonight, it is official. Twitter is under new ownership. Soon, Elon Musk will take the reins of the social media giant and is vowing to improve the platform, he says, by making algorithms open source to increase trust, defeating the spam bots, authenticating all humans. And Musk also emphasized free speech. It's the bedrock of a functioning democracy, and Twitter is the digital town square. Now, naturally, Democrats, their allies in the media mob, why are they freaking out? I thought liberals believed in freedom of speech. Apparently not. In fact, we're now on day 2 of what can only be described as a full-fledged public meltdown without any evidence at all whatsoever. Some on the left are calling Elon Musk a racist. And one MSDNC anchor actually worried that a political candidate could now be banned or throttled on Twitter, that could happen, that we could ban a politician on Twitter. Pause for a second. Now, I guess it's perfectly fine that Twitter and Facebook and Instagram, Twitter banned President Trump and many other conservative voices, and now they feel, all of a sudden now they feel under Elon Musk that politicians might be banned. The same people that were perfectly fine that Hunter and his laptop, that story was suppressed. The same people that didn't care one lick that Donald Trump was canceled on Twitter, the same people that lied to you, the American people, for years about Trump-Russia collusion that never happened. Wow, you don't say. All of a sudden, wow, banning people on Twitter is a bad thing? Really? Where have you people been? Take a look.
If you own all of Twitter or Facebook or what have you, you don't have to explain yourself. You don't even have to be transparent. You could secretly ban one party's candidate or all of its candidates, all of its nominees, or you could just secretly turn down the reach of their stuff and turn up the reach of something else, and the rest of us might not even find out about it till after the election.
At a time when authoritarians, insurrectionists, and rogue petrostates are weaponizing disinformation online in a way they've never done so before. Elon Musk says he is buying Twitter to save free speech online. And what he means by that is he wants to push back on efforts to moderate content on these websites.
So when Elon Musk says, wow, this is about free speech, it seems to me that it's about free speech of straight white men.
Okay, these are the very same people that didn't say a single word when conservatives were banned. They were shadow banned. Their voices were being silenced. They never uttered a single phrase of support for freedom of speech. But they're fearful it might happen to them. Now, ironically, the vitriol is even worse on Twitter. One hyper-paranoid MSDNC personality actually calling Elon Musk a bad faith actor with a history of racial animus now owns messages to and from black people that were intended to be private or quasi-private. Another little-known blue check mark tweeted, quote, Musk will amplify racists and bigots and misinformation. He's a bad faith actor, and with his distorted views on freedom of speech and censorship. This is like we're living in an alternate universe here. Now, meanwhile, high-paid Twitter employees based in San Francisco, they're reportedly very distraught. They probably need counseling tonight, and too in shock to even speak at this time. Oh, the vapors, they can't believe it. Now, by the way, Elon Musk is obviously much smarter than me. Doesn't really need advice from Sean Hannity. But Elon, you might hear about this. If you do, if I were you, I'd really seriously consider firing most, if not all of these employees and bring in your own team, because I suspect a lot of them will be trying to undermine you and your success the entire way. Now, according to Politico, Twitter's top lawyer openly cried during a meeting about the takeover. I'd fire him, too. Now, Democrats and journalists and woke tech employees, they have lost all touch with reality. The truth clearly means nothing to them. They really do hate free speech. They had no problem silencing and canceling conservatives. They fear the free exchange of ideas. They yearn to be coddled. And after growing up in liberal areas and going to liberal schools and learning under liberal professors and then working among liberal colleagues and spending time on liberal Twitter where liberal moderators cultivate a safe little liberal space, while many on the left have literally never apparently been exposed to different perspectives or opinions because they did cancel Donald Trump and other conservatives. Now they're very, very afraid they might cancel a liberal. They didn't seem to mind Louis Farrakhan's nonstop racism and hatred on Twitter, or the stream of lies from Iran's Ayatollah, or the communist propaganda from the Chinese government and their officials. But now the left is freaking out because they might get exposed to conservative opinions that they disagree with. Obviously a fate worse than death, apparently. One New York Times editorial board member is now deeply worried that Twitter will become a scary place and far more toxic. It's pretty toxic towards people like me right now. Just take a look at my timeline. Anyway, as Elon Musk tweeted earlier today, the extreme antibody reaction from those who fear free speech says it all. He's right. Elon Musk said, I hope all of my critics stay on Twitter so you can learn what free speech is all about. He's inviting you to attack him on the very site he owns. Now, Elon Musk is not the only person facing the left's hysteria. Look what's happening to Florida Governor Ron DeSantis. He has drawn their ire, does it quite effectively. Now, he is an effective governor, a Republican governor, not afraid to fight back. We saw that during COVID. We saw it, obviously, with the Parents' Rights Act that he recently passed. So naturally, according to MSDNC's, well, pretty hateful and dishonest conspiracy theorist, well, Ron DeSantis is trying to stop black people from voting. Really? Take a look.
Buckle up, Buttercup, because today, Baby MAGA signed a bill that allows him to create his own private police force that is tasked with pursuing alleged election law violations. Just lovely. The big lie will now have its own battalion of goons. I wonder who they'll go after first. I think you can guess. So he's taken away black representation. As you've said, he's taken away the ability of African Americans to vote, and he passed this police force that you know is going to be sicked on black Floridians to intimidate them out of being able to vote.
Okay, calm down. Not true. None of it. On Twitter, Joy Reid also accused Ron DeSantis of child abuse. That's how desperate people are. Why? Because he was pictured on stage with African-American children who wanted to be part of a historic bill signing. Now, Joy Reid is simply lying. There's no other way to put it. Like many on the left who fear free speech and transparency, those that love cancel culture only of conservative, well, to them, transparency and lying just happens to be a way of life, denying transparency. Now, they depend on lies, smears, slander, besmirchment to win elections. That's the Democrat and the left's playbook every 2-4 years, and now it's pretty much every day. And by the way, become more popular, and they become more virtuous. And now, at least on Twitter, it appears they're about to face the music, and the very thing that they were silent about is now potentially going to impact them. But in reality, I don't think it will. I actually believe Elon Musk is going to have a free and open exchange of ideas, ideals, and opinions. Now, of course, they won't be banned. They're not going to be throttled. But as former President Trump said once, truth is a force of nature. Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here to subscribe to Fox News YouTube page and catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You will not get it anywhere else.